All right. All right, baby, we're back. Back. We are back. So it's been 4 months, 4 long months since I did my last YouTube video. So today we're just gonna hopefully get at least an hour session here, hour and a half maybe. Who knows? Um, let's see. So there's actually been going. A lot has happened since the last time I even did this. Um, so I started doing the backend development, but still trying to learn Angular. So that's still part of the goal here, and some backend development. So I ended up settling for um, MongoDB for my database. It's a NoSQL database. I've never used it before. I've heard of it, but never used it before. And then for my backend, I did. Let me just get rid of this here. I'm using right now Next.js, which is very, very identical to Angular. So, like, if you're messing around with Angular, this is probably a great place to start. I think they even say it is inspired by Angular. Did they say anything about Angular? Angular. See? The, the architecture is heavily inspired by Angular. So, I think that's a great thing. So the app is actually out there. If you go to Dollarguard.pages.dev, you get to the login screen. So we have a login screen, which we didn't have before. So that's great. You can actually sign up now. Name, email, and password. And then you'll get redirected to the dashboard or whatever you want to call it. Then we also have a link here to the Git repo. Um, yeah, I've been working at it. I've been working at it. Um, Not sure why I stopped making videos really, but um, yeah, I think last time I worked was last week. But today, so let me just give you a quick run through. So you come here, sign up. I don't know, John, for your name. For the email, it can be actually any email because I'm not doing any email verifications or anything. Now, if you try to sign up with an existing email, it will give you an error saying that the email address has already been used. So that's the only validation I have, but this can be anything really. But for testing purposes, we're just gonna do a test. I don't know, 10@gmail.com, and I'm just gonna say guess whatever, don't matter. So then you get to this screen. So basically, right now we don't have any years. So like we don't have any transactions or expenses recorded. Later on, I'm gonna make it so that you can create an expense for a specific year, for a specific month, or whatever the user chooses. But for now, when you click here, it would automatically, you don't see in the URL here because I don't know how to enable that, but it will automatically send you to the current month for the current year. So it's 2024 and it is October. So whenever you click that, if you go back, you'll still see that. It will send you automatically to that. So then if you're in here, you can choose whatever months you want to, I guess, enter an expense for. but you can see about automatically send it to the October one, but you can go to in January or March, April, whatever you want. So we actually have the whole CRUD operation going on. So like for example, I just register. If I open my local MongoDB, this is my prod. So this is my local host right now. So like if I go here and I go to the very end, oh, shit, is this run? Oh, that was prod. Sorry, never mind. This is prod. So I'm not sure why it's called test, but whatever. You can see I have a few people signed up. Myself in here, a couple other people. But this is the account that we just created, and you can see your password is actually hashed. And for that, I'm actually using what's it called? So you sign up, you call user auth user service, and then we call user service, and we're actually hashing the password with bcrypt. Um, so I used a video on it. Seems to be working fine, so I'm probably just gonna stick with it. Um, yeah, for authentication, we are using JWT tokens. I followed this guy's tutorial. Great guy here. Anson, the developer. Probably gonna leave a link below, but his videos are pretty good. Um, and it looks like he's still uploading stuff, but yeah. Very good stuff there. What else? So I guess we can just go ahead and kind of give a demo. So right now we're not able to like update the monthly budget or the categories. And that's actually what we're going to be working on today. We're going to be, well, we're not going to add the ability to create a new category, but I just want to be able to, when the user signs up, like when a new account is created, to give them like a set amount of predetermined categories created by ChatGPT. Not me. Where is that? That will be in user preferences. So in my service, I have this array of type of category. It's just basically an array with a bunch of categories that I told ChatGPT to generate for me because I didn't want to spend time up doing it myself. So just size down here. Okay. So yeah, I just want that when a user is created, these categories are created by default in my user preference collections. So I just want to do a new document for the new user ID with those categories in there. So that when the user comes to this page, this gets pre-populated. So that when they want to add a new category, based on the ID of the user, we can update their preferences and add a new category. So they can have however many categories they want. I don't know if I'm going to cap it to a limit. That's probably a good idea, but for now it's going to say as many as you want. As many as you want. And then once we have the user preferences, we're actually going to make it so that you're able to update the monthly budget, because right now it's always 4,000. That's just a random number. That's not my actual paycheck. It's just a random number. And right now, let me actually run this locally because I'm not sure why. So, wait. Okay, so I did make a few changes. So let me just Dollarguard. Wait, what's here? What? The fuck is this? I don't want that. Okay. So let me just do this locally. PM run start that. Let's just go through the whole CRUD operation because I don't think we had that in place before. So, did this open? Did it open? I didn't even see it. Oh, here it is. Okay. You know, I wish I could play some other music other than this lofi hip hop shit, but I don't want it to my video to be copyright. Although I don't know if that matters really because I'm not really a YouTube partner, but so this is locally right now. You can see it's local host 4200. So same thing, you can sign up if you want, but I'm already signed up, so I'm just gonna use my example account. I don't want to use one password. So you can see that this account already has some expenses because the year is already here. If I didn't have any, then this will just have that button that we saw before. And you can tell here. So like if I deleted everything here and I went back, see, now it's gone because I don't have any expenses for any years. So as soon as you create an expense for whatever year, it will automatically add the year to this page right here. But because we don't have any, that's why it's not displaying any. But as soon as we get, like, I don't know, I spent 60 bucks on gas the other day. I didn't spend that much, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm just gonna say mobile for the gas station name. This is not required, but so you get a toast message notification. There's actually a bug where if you hover over it, it won't disappear. So you actually have to close it. But 60, you can see that I got added 60, and that the running total is just subtracting the monthly budget to whatever you spent so far, and it'll give you this. But yeah. So now if I go back, see, we see 2024, and if we go to my MongoDB Compass, whatever, you can see it's right there, 60 bucks. User ID, so we know what user made this, the date, and then yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And you can edit it and be like, okay, that was actually 100 bucks, and it was on the 20th. So today, and it says success expense updated successfully. You'll see it reflected here. Actually, we can actually change the category and be like, okay, it was actually 100 bucks on groceries, not gas. See, if I don't hover, it will go. There we go. Hey. So then, if you refresh here, oh, my notes are still mobile. I want to say Walmart. Enter. If you hover, see, now it says Walmart, 100 bucks. And for the category, if you open it, I will give you the category. I think there's a way to change this. I don't know. I'll say the name and the hex color, and the date actually got updated to the 10/20th, so today. So it's all working. It's all working. I think I already said I'm using Railway for the backend. So this is where I host my backend. You can see all my deployments here, and then I'm using Cloudflare. Is it .com? I'm using Cloudflare to host my login. I'm using Cloudflare to host my front end. Oh shit! I gotta enter this really. Give me a second. Let's see. I don't know why I'm even hiding this, but okay. Okay, so I got my workers and pages, and you can see last deploy was 6 days ago. I think I turned off automatic deployments, or maybe I didn't. So basically that means that every time I make a push to my master branch in GitHub, it will automatically build the application for me. I didn't have to do anything, any setup. I just grabbed whatever the default commands are from npm, and I just built it. Same thing for Railway. I barely had to do anything. I think the only things I had to do was my you know, my variables, my data env variables. But great stuff, man. Great stuff. I've been talking for 15 minutes and I haven't got anything done, so let's just get straight to it, really. Think enough jabbing. Let's get some work done.
User.
Because that's actually what we're good at. So today we're just gonna be implementing that what's it called? That default categories thing. And I'm gonna be following this guy's tutorial, like I said. I'm probably gonna leave a link below. This shit is loud. Just load it a little bit. 4 months, baby, 4 months. 4 months since last time I uploaded. But okay. We actually gained a couple subscribers without doing much, which is kind of weird, but I don't know who the fuck is watching this, but if you are, man, hey, welcome. You're always welcome here. So, I've kind of watched this a little bit already, so... Sorry, I woke up an hour ago. So again, we just actually want to be able to automatically create the user preferences when they sign up. So right now I'm kind of doing that. So if we go to my controller, for my auth controller, so there's this method called sign up, and this is what gets called yeah, this is the one that gets called when from the front end when you click that button to register. So then we're actually going to be doing backend development. Now we're not going to be touching Angular today, probably. So it's basically just using Postman. That's all we're going to be doing. That's all we're going to be doing today. That's all we're going to be doing. It's kind of lame, but whatever. It's part of it. So right now, when you sign up, we call the auth user service sign up, and what that does is actually call the user service and create the user. So first we check if the user is already existing. If it's not, if it is, then we throw an error saying, hey, can't do that. If it's not, then we just hash the password that they sent us, and we do that. I probably can get rid of this console log here. So then after we do that, we get back. Wait, what the fuck? Why am I doing this? Now I'm confused. Oh, I'm doing it in my controller. Never mind. So after we sign up, so after we create the user, we actually create the user preferences. Yeah. So, and the way we're doing that, it's basically the same thing. We're just calling the user preferences service, and we're actually creating it. Create default user preferences, and then we just add that record to the collection, that document. Okay, now I should get rid of this too. And we pass in the user ID of the new user. But I think from what I briefly saw is that we want to actually create the preferences first, and then the user, so then that the user can have that reference inside of it. Oh fuck, because I am doing it that way. I forgot about that. So I'm gonna add a new prop to my user schema, which is probably gonna be called, I don't know, user preferences. And because of that, before I create the user, I need to have the ID of the... Wait, what? I don't know. We're just gonna follow this guy's tutorial. So I think I have most of it, not most of it done, but so I think I have to do this in order for me to actually add the user prop with the type of user preferences to my user schema, which is basically what he's doing now. He's just adding the settings thing. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing now because that's what I need. There's not much around it. Okay. User service. So mind you, I haven't worked on this in a while because I went on a trip and I kind of forgot everything that I did. So it's like I'm just jumping into code base that I created and I don't even understand anymore. I think that's a very relatable feeling in this career path per se. Um, so basically, we have to import. Oh shit, that's not what I need. We need to now import our model, our user preference model or schema, so that we're able to use it inside the user service. Yeah, yes sir, yes sir. And actually, I'm probably gonna have to get rid of that. Okay. So for feature, wait, do I need to? I think I do. Okay, for feature, I'm just basically just gonna, I could probably just copy and paste this thing here because it's just the same thing. The only thing that's gonna change is the name. So the name is actually not gonna be that anymore. It's gonna be users preferences, that name. So the name of my class, which is right here, and then my schema that I exported in the class file too. It's just this thing right here. User preferences schema. So it's, yeah, so I think it should be good. Um, Let me just close the front end. Clear. Clear for now. This shouldn't give me any errors, right? Looks like we're Gucci. Yeah, looks like we're good. Probably gonna leave it on. Okay. So now I need to update my user schema to take in a prop. Right? And this should be required. So I do want this. Right? So I'm just gonna call it preferences. And it's gonna be type user preferences. You know? So then to this, being able for me to kind of interact with it nicely, I need to have this thing here. So he's making it optional because some preferences should be optional, but because they're gonna be defaults, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but so I'm just gonna make a type, whatever he's doing, mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID. And you know, I think I did get rid of that. Types object what? Cannot find mongoose, brother. Mongoose, it's right there, brother. What do you mean you can't find it? Then the reference is gonna be the name of my class or user preferences. I think that's right.
Is the actual data type that it's going to the object ID. And then you need to set this ref property, and you're going to reference user settings, so the name of the class itself.
Yep.
Okay. And then you're just going to define the field name, so I'll just call it settings. This is also going to be optional as well, or possibly undefined. And then the type work up here, and when you actually ID, whatever that user settings document ID is that is related to the user, that is going to be the ID set to this settings field. Into an actual, what I mean user set. Set up our schema, we registered it, and then we also referenced inside our user class, we referenced the user settings, just like this. We provided a reference for user settings for our MongoDB database. So I'm going to keep everything simple. So I'm going to go into users controller, and what I'll do is, since I'm just going to make it so that when we create a user, keep everything simple to allow them to set the settings at separate entirely, etc. And link
So
this way. And I'm gonna go.
So see, I don't have to do this because oh, why would he do this though? Why would you set your settings when you're signing up though? You know, like if you just want to have a default, just have a default. So like not be on or whatever. So I don't think I need to do this because I'm not gonna give them the option on the front end, like when you sign up, to like set your settings. I'm not sure why he would do this. I mean, kind of makes sense. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that whenever a user is registered, the preferences will always be set to whatever the default is. So there's no need for the for the call to have this if I'm gonna set the default myself, right? I think that's
create inside here. Setting.
So yeah.
Now we need to mark each one of these fields as op, and then the settings here mark this as making a post not. Okay, and of course, even if they do specify this settings property, our scalar value, it's an object. So we need to make sure that we are doing nested validation.
Is that a class?
It's going to be totally false. Technically, say or use this right top over here, these fields as well. Okay, so now that we have all this working,
oh, that's why.
And remember, we don't really need to change anything with our controller because of settings. Okay, so now all we have to do is just press to is it all now. It's store service. It's all for value. Logs are going to be it's still trying to create the user and in the database passing name, but we user object.
So how do you create the
be the string that's left here? DTO that makes settings is for this or inside class. So in this case, I'm what you set for.
So I need to do that. I need to inject my user service. This is okay. I need to inject my user preferences model. Preferences, sorry, not service. Because we're actually going to be creating the user preferences here now. So this is the user preferences, that name. So the name of my class, private. I'm not sure why we make read only. I don't know if that matters. User preference preferences model, right? That's gonna be type model, type user preferences, right? So here's my model now. So now I'm able to interact with my collection. So I can add to it, delete from it, whatever. So I want to see how he does this.
Settings.name. It needs to match what you set for name over here. That's how it recognizes which correct model to inject. Okay?
It does.
So we're going to whoops.
That's right.
Private. And I'm going to call this argument users.
Yeah, I'm not sure why these are read on.
And then type annotated to be model user settings. Like this. Private. So cool, we have our user settings model injected.
Yep.
So let's just make sure there's no errors. Okay, good. Let's go back into our code. So inside the if block for if settings, what we want to do is we want to create the settings. So const new settings equals new this dot user settings model. So this is how I can create my new user settings record and save it to the database. Well, not save it. We're going to do that part next. So I'm going to pass in the settings object into user settings model. Okay. And what I'll do now is I need to save new settings or the new user settings by simply calling the .save method like this. But because this returns a promise and we still need to use the return value of the saved record to a database to link it with the new user that we're creating, we need to use async await to get that resolved value. So I'm going to add the async keyword in front of create user, and then what I'll do is I'll declare a variable called save new settings equals await new settings.save. Okay, so now the saved user settings is now in this variable right over here, and I can reference properties on this, but we specifically need to get the ID. Okay, so now that we've created our user settings and then we saved it to the database, we can actually create the user itself. So we're just going to do the same thing down over here. So const new user equals new this dot user model. So for the argument for user model, we're going to pass in a new object. We're going to unpack all of the fields from create user DTO into this new object. So like this, create user DTO.
Yep.
And then what I need to do is I need to set the settings. So this is where you can see how it, like in TypeScript, it's expecting this to be an object, but it's actually supposed to be the object ID of our save new settings. So that's actually the reason why we had an error in the first place. So this needs to be an object ID. So saved new settings dot ID like this. Okay, so this will pretty much create the new user and also set the settings property to the ID of our newly created user settings. And then we can return new user.save. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And if you don't really understand...
Oh, okay, wait. So I don't need to have a user ID here. I probably don't need this anymore, eh? I'm not using that anywhere. Okay, no. So I probably don't need that anymore. Because I think... Well, yeah, I guess whenever I get the user, I'm just gonna get their preferences. I don't know. If I want their preferences, I will just call whatever user I want. Yeah. Okay, well. Nice. Nice. So back to my user service. Basically, I need to do the same thing he's doing, with the exception that he's not doing anything with the hash password. So right here. So here's where I'm creating my user. See, now that's gonna be complicated because he's using spread operator to create that, and I'm not. So we'll just figure that out. So I guess whenever a user tries to create, if the user is not already existing, so we have the hash password. So I think here is where I need to actually create the new settings. So it's just gonna be new for preferences. New preferences equals to this that user preferences dot model. Is it new? Yeah. So then, what the fuck is expecting here? Because you know I never done it like this before. Can I just do this? Why do I need to instantiate this? Okay, wait a second. I already have that. Where's this user ID coming from? Let me just get rid of this here, because that's how I had it working before. So yeah. Eval categories. I don't have a create thing. I'm not sure how that works there. Because I've been creating them like this. You know, with the create method. And then you just pass in whatever it's required in your schema. So can't I just... Can't I just use my service here? And then I get whatever the return value it is? Let me try to do that. Did I import it? Users, let's see. I didn't import it yet. So I think if I do Well, I think I'm already importing it, am I? You know what? User preferences. What's it called? User, user preferences. How the fuck do I import the manager? Hey, where do I have this? Yeah, this is what I need. Oops, wait a second. Okay, this is getting hefty here. Did you mean user preferences? No, I did not mean that. I meant exactly what I wanted. Where is it? Add module. There it is. Wait, why is it not auto importing though? Like import user preferences module. I guess it is then. I don't know. So wait, so now that I have this, why do I need to? Because if I do that, then I can just call my service and be like, just create it, brother. Right? And this is gonna return me. But let's return promise document user preferences. Yeah, it should give me the ID. Let's see. So instead of doing this, I'm gonna say const new preferences, new user preferences equals to. See now I have to inject my my service. Do we actually inject them here or what? Let me see if I have another. My controller, my auth service. If I want to use another service, yeah, I just have to. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like for example, I can do this. I can just do a private. What am I doing here? Private, and then call it whatever. Um, user preferences service, and then type user preferences service, right? And then here I'm just gonna say await that user preferences service that create default categories. And that should give me the ID back. Declare, but it's actually never read. Okay, it's fine. I'll read it. You know, I should probably just console.log it here. Console.log that user preferences. I just want to see what that gives me. So I'm just gonna have to make a API call to that. Internal server error. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. So here it is. So it gives me that category that I just created, and it gives me the ID. So then I can do what he did. So when I create the user, what the fuck? Why is it not? I call it preferences. I don't know. Yeah, I keep thinking it's settings. So this actually needs to be type any. Isn't that supposed to be ID thing? Yeah, whatever. New preferences that ID. There we go, baby. So now, if I try to call this, it should give me an error. Duplicate. User ID 1. Indexed. But I don't know if this is because you know what? I think I'm just gonna drop this. Sometimes you have to do this in order for this to work. And then just run it. Run command. what I say. Sometimes you just have to freaking drop it, man. Not in production, you wouldn't do that. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna see what happens when I come with that issue. Um. So yeah, let's get that ID. But now, if I open my database, can this refresh, please? How do I refresh this thing? I always forget. Um, where is it, brother? Oh God, where is it? Reload data. Go to Shivar. Okay. So we get the array. Object ID. So this is just the ID of my preferences. Now, how am I gonna use that? I don't know. Oh, shit. I guess I could pass it. Yeah, never mind. We're good. So see, now we have the ID of that preference. So 67155, 67155, and then some C2. Yeah. So then I know at the end he makes
what's
it.
going on with this the structuring part, or I'm sorry, not the structuring, this the spreader operator part. You need to look up how spreader operators work, because it's a very notice how we still have this underscore ID, or not, sorry, not here, this one right over here, this settings property, and this ID right over here. This ID is the ID of the settings record. And if
Yep,
you don't believe me, I'll show you right now. Let's
I
go
believe you.
into our MongoDB GUI, and I'm going to go to user settings. And right now, you can see I just refreshed. You'll see that the corresponding ID, let's see, 656D5, BC1 is what it ends with. So there's only 3 right over here. BC1, okay, this is the correct one. And notice how none of those fields are set, and that's okay because remember we marked it as optional. So we are ensuring that our validation is working right over here. Okay, is optional. So, but since we did set settings, it did create a settings record, but then it didn't care that it was empty because all of these fields are optional. Now notice how if I were to remove is optional from receive SMS, and if I try to create this now, let me change this to Anton 3. It should actually throw an error. I'm not sure why it didn't. That's weird. I think I forgot to do one more thing. So I need to use this type decorator from class transformer, and then I need to pass in this function, and this is going to just be the create user settings DTO, just like that. I think that's the reason why. Let me try again because that should have thrown an error. Okay, there we go. Now it works. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I completely missed that. So we need at validate nested, and then we also need this at type, and then pass in this callback function, and then just the return type is just going to be whatever the DTO that you're trying to validate. So it's just going to be the same thing as this right here, create user settings DTO. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, and now we can see that it is throwing an error. So receive SMS must be a Boolean value. Okay.
So I think now what I want is I want to be able to see the preferences instead of the ID, and I think that's what this part right here
everything is. Yeah, this is where we are searching for the method, the field that you want to populate. The complicated things have you would just okay, nested. How now? So if I so that's how you can pop property settings. There have the field that you complicated that is that model. So if I go and I can do the same thing for these nested objects. So if I go back to Postman, if I get this user, see how now it gets me the actual entire document, not just the ID. I have an actual object now. And I can do the same thing for...
No, I don't have an endpoint to get the users. The fuck? Do I? No, I don't. I don't even have a controller for users. Because I'm probably gonna need that actually now that I think about it. Yep, probably gonna need that. Ooh, how do I even? Okay. But whatever, we got that working, and that's really all I care about. So basically now, every time a user signs up, I'll just create that automatically. Clear, I'm just gonna add everything and say update class name plus rewrite how user preferences get created on sign up. The fuck you mean? I have the rights. What did I write? Oh, I typed origin. Okay. So that wasn't much. Pretty much had that. I don't even know if I need this actually. Because I'm already. Well, maybe I need it. I don't know. Let me try to get rid of it. Where is it? Users. Do I even need this anymore? Because I'm not gonna interact with my model anymore. Right? I'm not gonna interact with that model anymore. Okay, maybe I do. Well, that's because I didn't update my user service. What if I got rid of this then? See? I don't need that. Get that shit out of there. Get that crap out of there. Okay. I'm starving. So I don't need this import because I'm not gonna be using it. And I can get rid of this here. Now let me try to actually sign up. So right now I only have one user. So let me make one. See, it worked great. Should be here. And then 406. Refresh 406. And they get all of that. They got all that. So then, basically, what needs to happen is that when you log in, I need a way to get the user that is logged in. And when I get the user, I'm gonna get all these properties from my schema, except for my password, of course. You know, and then I think I should have access to the user preferences. It's my understanding. No, I don't know if I want to go that far in today, but sounds like I could. Let me say Next.js controllers. How do I create a controller with the CLI? I can't. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna do it manually. So new file, user.controller. Oh, user.controller.ts. So It's just gonna be similar to whatever I'm doing somewhere else. I'm just gonna take the smallest one. Well, I don't want all this. Auth controller, user controller. Export class, user controller. Right. And then gotta give it a name. Controller. Oh, what's this called? Yeah, why is this not important? Controller. For next comment, it's gonna be called user. So then my guard. Actually, use guard. JWT guard. So this is gonna has to be guarded. Everything that I'm doing here has to be guarded. Just like my expenses. Because I don't want nobody, unless you're authenticated, to have access to this. So I just have to register this controller and my module. Is this run? See right now, if you go, I don't have any. But as soon as I say controllers, user controller, and add a comma here, see I don't have any. Do I have any? No, I don't have any map. But as soon as I create one method here, like my auth one, for example, I'm just gonna say it's gonna be a get. Ooh, thing. Actually, let me use the expense as a reference. Yeah, so see, I need to do something like this for the ID because that's gonna be dynamic. So this is just gonna be a get request ID. I'm just gonna get the user by the ID. ID. Gotta import this. And this is just going to be an async because I don't know how long that will take. Async get user. Get you. I don't think this man is get user. Get user. So then from that parameter, how do I have access to the ID? Okay, exactly like this, baby. See where it goes here. Oops, wrong place. Okay, just gotta import that. Now I gotta make sure that it is a valid ID because I always forget about that. HTTP exception. If it's not a valid ID, give me that. Bad request. Basically, this is just making sure that whatever ID we give it is an actual ID. Because right now ID is just a string, but actually these IDs are kind of specific. They're random, but they're not so random. So yeah, I just gotta make sure that's a valid one. So if it is a valid one, I need to create a method in my user service that finds the user ID, which I actually already have created. I don't know why. Is that async? It is async. Return this dot. So I need to have a constructor, something like this, where basically user service. Am I exporting my user service in my module? I am. Okay. User service. Expenses. It's going to be type user service. So then all I need to do is call this user service that find user by ID. I gotta find user by ID, and then I just gotta pass it. Oh, why did I put a breakpoint? Then I just need the ID, which is gonna be ID. So let's see. So now if I save, it should have. Oh, that's because I didn't register it in my I think it's on my app module. Yep. So do I have to export? No, I don't have to. Providers and controls. Oh, I don't need to. Wait, how the fuck am I not doing that actually? Okay, I know. User module. Here the users module. Is it called users? Oh, it is called users. Well, right now. So now, see, you see it right here. Wait, forget rid of that. Was it there? Oh, it is there. Use controller. Yeah, I didn't think I needed it. But maybe I do. How many ones I got? How many? Got 1, 2, 3. You know what? I'm just gonna put it here. I don't know if I need it or not, but you can see right here that I now have that method that I can call. I forgot the name of those. So I can make an HTTP GET request to this basically path, or you know. Let's see. Okay. So let's see if it actually works. So users get. Dude, I already have this set up. What the hell? Can I get it? Oh, this doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. That doesn't exist anymore, does it? Controller. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. So I can say something like, okay. I'm just gonna make. So I wanna make a new one to my localhost 3000 because that's where my main is listening to my port. I'm not gonna show my .env file, but yeah, pretty sure that's where it is. So it's gonna be to my controller user, and it's gonna grab the first thing that. I think that's how I do it, right? Update expense, yeah. So like when you do a patch, it grabs the first one with the mentioned params or parameters. So I need an ID actually. So if I let me just use this one. So it should give me the test one example. Like And the password should not be there. Send. Cannot get. Not found. See, that's tragic. Did I call it user? That's fine. Unauthorized. That's because I don't have a freaking token. See? At least we know that works. Can you guys even see this one? I don't know if you guys can see that. Shit, my screen is kind of big. I didn't realize that. I don't really like that for now. I need to authenticate basically. So I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna act like I logged in. Well, first let me just register example at example.com. Guess. Then give me this. And then let me just save this in the users. Save. How do I rename this? Rename. Get user. User by ID. No. Get user by ID. Okay. So then I have to, in my headers, have a authorization. How do I add a new one? So that should work. There we go. So we're just kind of simulating what the front end is going to send to the back end. In order for this to work, since we're using JWT, you have to have the headers for the authorization header with the berry token, which is just JWT token. And the only way you get that is when you log in with a valid user email and password, and when you sign up. So then you get the okay, so, but see, I didn't set the go populate. Oh shit. Sorry, I need this to do this in here. Populate. Populate to what? Do you need to do? Preferences. There we go. And now this is huge though. Do you see the ID? Yep, you see it right there. So this is the ID of the preferences itself, the object. And this is the ID of the user, I think. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, 409, yep. 46, yep. So then the front end will get that, you know. So now we know what the user preferences are. Since we know that, we should be able to, oh, this is that. Just sort of. So we should be able to sample.com. So once we know that, when you go here, we're gonna populate this with the information that we just got from the preferences stuff. And this is gonna be actually even bigger later on, because I'm probably gonna have preferences and then I'm gonna have a bunch. I don't know, I might have to rethink this. Yeah, because the way I wanted to do it was different, and I guess we could do that later, but... guess. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. This is gonna get huge though. Because once I start adding the monthly budget stuff, that's just gonna get huge. Because the way I'm thinking about it right now is that I want to give the users the ability to change the budget for every month of any year, and it's gonna get pretty hefty in there. But I do have the ID, so maybe instead of populating it, I can just. I'm probably gonna have to make two calls. Well, I guess I wouldn't mind doing 3 API calls. Ugh, I don't know. For now, this is fine. Yeah, for now, this is fine. So now, see, I yeah, I think I'm probably not gonna have update. So the way I'm thinking about this, I'm probably not gonna have update categories. I'm just gonna have the user delete it and then enter in the same one if they want the same one. If you mistyped it, start from scratch, buddy. Because if I want the update, I would need an ID here to identify that specific category. I could do that or the name. But, I don't want to use the name. I'd rather use an ID. So, and I got rid of the ID actually. So if we go back to what is it? I'm getting lost now. So if you go to my schema, I explicitly tell it to get rid of the ID here. And the version thing. Well, this is when it gets from forms. But that doesn't even exist here anymore. Controller service. Yeah, see. I'm just completely getting rid of it. For like each subcategory. Yeah. So, I guess I've been doing this for an hour already. Damn. I am starving. So I think for now, that's good. I think what we want to do next is be able to update and add a new one. So if I wanted to add a new one, how the fuck would I do that? Because I'm not using the ID anymore. Because I do have a preferences controller. User preferences. See? I don't think I'm using it right now. Now we're gonna get the whole. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess we could do that right now. I'm thinking now. Give me a sec. You know what? Let me just get rid of all this and be like, delete. Delete. And I'll just need the. I guess I'm still gonna need the IDs, right? Yeah, the easiest way will be to have an ID actually, so I don't know why I got rid of this. So I'm not gonna save this. So I think I need to drop my thing for this. So now let me just register. There we go. Dollarguard. Oh fuck, what did I do? So, oh my god, wait. I think it was the schema thing. Yeah. What did I do? Yeah, I don't know why I did that. That's this thing right here. Yeah, I think the way he had this some certain way. Oh shit, right. What? No, I think it was in ChatGPT. Good for feature usage. Oh, it was something like this. Let's yeah, I think I had something like this. I mean, this is probably not the right way of doing it, but I don't really care. Right? Um. I need to go to my schema and type object step. I'm gonna have to do this because that's the actual thing of my category. It's just a type object, but maybe it doesn't need to be an array. Well, it is an array actually. An array of this type of objects of type. I think that's what it suggested me. No, it's not an object. Oh, it is an object here. What did I ask? think it was it this category class mod? But that was because I made it a class though. I don't want to make it a class. I don't want to have to. I don't want to do this. Let me try with this. See if that works. I think I want to. There we go. So what did I set it to? Set it to yeah, set the type to be an array of objects, which is mirrors. These have to be, because they have to be like this. I don't think this is right, honestly. Maybe that was the other option. Because I think I told it I don't want that anymore. I don't want the IDs. Then it told me to do. I don't want to make it a class, bro. Schema. Whatever. I think this is fine for now. Yeah, so now I have an ID for each one. So if I were to do um not found, well, it's actually a bug. I should be saying not found. Super ID. Just change this. What the hell? What am I doing? I want to create an account. Login request. Okay, can I have this? Can I have that, brother? That's exactly what I have right now, is it? Oh no, it's not. What's going on, dude? Am I missing something? Am I doing something wrong here? Oh, I'm passing the wrong ID. That's why. It's getting hefty here. Basically, yeah. So I could probably just guard this. I just don't want to have everything this. Oh, don't want to get rid of this. Discard. Discard. Should do that. So that's going to be delete. It's going to be an ID. Delete. Well, it's actually going to have to be 2. The ID of the person and the ID of the user. Or maybe just keep, yeah, but just the idea of the preference. Preference ID. Oh, this is for doing categories. Why am I doing this? Preference ID. Yeah, this is for preference ID and then category ID. I don't know why I'm complicating this. Delete user category. I don't know if this is going to be sync or not, but I'm just going to call it this for now. So then I'm just going to say param. So I need the preference ID to be and then the add param to be a category ID. Category ID. It's also going to be a string. So I probably, I should probably make that a function or something. Because I've been using that shit all over the place to verify if it's an actual ID. But if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. So I'm just gonna import it. Import, okay. It's valid. Is valid. Basically, I'm just gonna copy these two because this need to. Is category ID valid. Category ID if or it's not valid. If none of these two are valid. Oh, actually, that wouldn't make sense. Because if one is true, then I won't check the other one. Yeah, this looks horrendous, but buddy, I'm not really trying to make great code here. I'm just trying to make this work. So now that we know the IDs are fine. So actually, let me go back to what I was doing before. Because if I find the user by ID and I don't find any, yeah, it just says empty. Oh shit. Fuck. There's user. This that service staff. User server that. Find yes. Find user by ID. So if there's no user, then throw new HTTP exception. User not found. HTTP status not found. You handle that code, boy. Otherwise, just return the user. You know? So, yeah. So if there's no users, we're just gonna throw a 404. So I'm guessing it's gonna throw. If I get rid of that, see, invalid ID. The fuck? Oh. That's just invalid ID, but really, it's because send's not valid. Let's see. This shouldn't be okay, brother. Yo, what is it? What's going on here? There's something going on here. There's no freaking user that's getting. Oh, that's fine. My bad, buddy. My bad. It's async. Is there not found? See? Now we're good. Now we're good. We're good. Can I just? So now we actually got it. Okay, good. So we're good there. Okay. So now we're sent to the user critical. Um. So we have a preferences service that we should probably put in use. Async delete. When I delete shit, am I doing it asynchronous or not? Because if I'm not, then I don't know why. Okay, it looks like I am. So I'm gonna need something like this. Delete. Delete. Um, delete. Reference category. So I need the reference ID, category ID. It's also gonna be a string. User preference model. Find one and delete. So find. So what the fuck am I doing here? I never updated this. I'm not using that anymore. I'm not using user ID instead of users anymore. Oh wait, inside expenses. Oh, I don't have any expenses. I'm just gonna empty serve. I think it's easier like this, although example. expense. Delete expense. Expense service. Oh, okay. So we're using the user ID. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I want. So I want to delete wherever you see where, well, where ID equals to new times import the preference ID. See, I don't know how to do that, so delete. So mongoose next says delete current. What? Mother, just give me the answer. That looks like it works. An update. That's Paul categories that category ID. So give me the new one. Does this say synchronous? Should that and action to do execute. Let's see. Return this. Should this be async? Okay, yeah, so it is. Okay. So then this, that. What if I give the wrong thing? What would it's gonna say? So I guess we'll see. Yeah, let's see what it says. Return. I want to see. You can move this around. So I need this. Then I also need the groceries. I didn't do shit. Oh god. What the fuck? Okay. I guess first of all, I'll just try this. So, okay, good. So these are valid ones because it is given. I don't think this is categories. This and categories of objects with unique ID. Yeah, I think thanks to categories is just one thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, looks like it worked. Ah, there we go. So what if I on purpose? I don't know. Like what if I did like 6 or something? And it's just not gonna do anything, but dude, I'm lost. Just not gonna do anything. Am I okay with that? There you go. I think that's great. I think that's great. Oh god. So I think the next step now is to um, add a new one to it. But I don't know if I'm gonna do this here. Should I do it now? It shouldn't take me that long. This shouldn't take me that long. I don't know if I want to add some validation here. Saying, oh, we couldn't find that or whatnot. I could. I guess I'm thinking from the front end perspective. You know, I make the request, and I usually use the tab operator to do some side effects. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can just add that to my to-do and be like, things to do. Maybe, possibly add vacation. Verification when doing a category from user preference. Pass IDs. Pass IDs actually exists. Currently it just doesn't do anything. Returns the collection. It's not very sensitive, I think. So I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good for now. It's 3 o'clock almost. 3 o'clock almost, and then I think we're good for now. Get status. Good commit. Create. Get user controller plus add request handler for removing specific category from specific user. I think that's good for now. It push hydrogen master. So I don't think I have automatic deployments railway. Or do I? See, I only have 386 bucks right now. So when this runs out, I'm probably gonna have to upgrade my plan. I don't have. Well, I didn't make any updates to my front end, so we should be good. We should be Gucci to go, brother. Where is it? Yeah, it should be good. We did some work. We did some work here. We did some work. Yep. So I think next, maybe later, I don't know. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. And again, 4 months, buddy. 4 months. And this blew up kind of. 357 views. I don't even know how I didn't do shit there. But yeah. I think next, I'm just gonna add that. Still running. I'm just gonna add maybe the validation here. I'm not sure. It's not very important right now. Or I could for the creation of a new category, preference category. Mm, category. I don't know. There's so many ways that you can possibly architect this, but this is my first project, man. Just give me a break. I think for now we're good. Front end stuff. This got pretty huge too, especially with doing like interceptors, all that stuff that I never did before.